Yeah, oh yeah. Man, hey, who turned me off in the headphones? All kinds of craziness going on around here. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the number one most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
And good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Today is Wednesday, is that right? It goes by so fast. What's up, Stephen Eugene Kuhn? Today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. That's right. Today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. And what's crazy, what's up, Darian Sanders? Oh, my man, Kurt McFarland. It's going to be a good morning. I can already tell. Michael Smith is up in here this morning. Bill Schomburg. Oh, my goodness. What's up, Corey Raines? What's crazy is today is going to be the very first and the very last time it will ever be Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. Fair enough? Let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. My man Darian says he's on from North Charleston, South Carolina. That means that he is performing on Broadway with The Lion King in that area. So if you're in that area, I highly suggest go ahead and message Darian and go watch that show, man. The Lion King Broadway tour. It's absolutely incredible, and Darian is just absolutely over the top. Listen, it is supposed to be 49 degrees today here in Kentucky. How you doing, Amanda Sanner? I'm glad you're here. It's supposed to be 49 degrees today here in Kentucky and partly sunny, right? Which is pretty nice. I mean, right now, this morning, I woke up freezing. So it's supposed to warm up 49. I can totally take that. And I just can't believe it's December 4th. Like, think about that for a second. It is December 4th, 2019. I was talking to Scott Simons on the phone last night, and he was like, dude, because it was his birthday Sunday. And Scott was like, man, I can still remember the whole, it's going to be the end of the world, year 2000. Like, that was like it was just yesterday. And here we are headed rapidly into 2020. It's already December 4th. It's mind-boggling. So I was reading, I was doing some studying up, and I like looking at things, with the economy and how are people, how are things going with the economy? How are things going financially? How are things going in business? So on and so forth. I like to be ahead of the curve and just kind of study so I know what to expect, as I'm training dealerships and so on and so forth. And so I was reading and I ran across this interesting article, and it was talking about the shopping habits of people around the holiday season. And really interesting, 24% of Americans, 24% of Americans will have all of their Christmas shopping done by the end of this weekend, right? 1 out of every 4 people will have all of their Christmas shopping done by the end of this weekend. Now, there's 9% of the people, 9% will get it done in that last week leading up to Christmas. What's up, Terrell? That last week leading up to Christmas will be 9%. And then there's 2% of the people, 2% of all people in America. That's a lot of people. 2% will do all of their Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve. And my guess is a lot of them are in the automotive industry. That's my guess. So I got a question for you this morning. I want you to drop it in the comments. Which camp are you in? Are you camp, my Christmas shopping will be done by this weekend? Or are you in the camp where you're going to do most of your Christmas shopping in the week leading up to Christmas? Or are you one of those 2% that's going to get it all done on Christmas Eve? I want to know what camp the Rise and Grind members are in. I know what camp I used to be in. I used to be in the Christmas Eve camp. That's the camp I used to be in when I was running the dealership. It was just tough to go out and do the Christmas shopping. However, now I've shifted over. I actually took my kids Christmas shopping on December 1st, and we got all the gifts for their mom and so on and so forth. And luckily for me, my wife pretty much handles everything out from there. That's pretty much what happens. My wife handles the rest. I just kind of handle getting gifts for her from the kids. I believe Carrie Lynn Carter just said she is in Camp Gemini. It went by too fast. She said she's in Camp Gemini. She's wild. She's just, oh no, that's Emily. Emily Goffler said Camp Gemini. So basically, I'm a wild card. Jennifer says she's mostly done. Brad Smith is, how are you this morning? Kurt Allen McFarland, he is in Camp Christmas shopping is done. Laura Berman says camp almost done. Tracy says she hasn't even started. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and read through and see where everybody's at, which camp that they are in. So for those of you that are maybe in the camp, I need to get it done this weekend, or for those of you that are in that camp where you do it the last week, I want to save you some time and some energy and pressure. And what I want you to do is I just want you to go to GlennLundy.com, because right now, if you go to GlennLundy.com, I'm going to make it easy for you. You can get all of your Christmas shopping done right here today, this morning. If you want, you can get all of your Christmas shopping done, and you can give your people gifts that actually are going to have some meaning. They're going to impact their lives. For example, you could give them the new hashtag Rise and Grind planners, the 2020 planners, which they could use every single day in 2020. I remember John Allen bought these for his entire family last year. He handed them all out for Christmas. They took a picture. It was incredible. But the Rise and Grind planner is actually a gift that you can give with some intention. You can give it to them. Hey, change the way you start your day. Write down your gratitude. Write down your goals. You could give a gift that changes their life. Or maybe you need to give them some Rise and Grind gear, right? Like you could give them a Rise and Grind cup. You could give them a Rise and Grind duffel bag. You could get them a blessing bag right here. We've got the Rise and Grind blessing bag so they could go out and give those away and serve them to somebody else. Maybe they need a hat or a scarf or a hoodie or a shirt that says Rise, Evolve, Impact Together. I think we have 2 or 3 of those left. We sold through those quick. Maybe they need some university gear like this awesome hoodie for the ladies right here. We got the camo in full effect now, long sleeve t-shirts, something like that. Or maybe for Christmas, you want to give away the gift of hashtag Rise and Grind University. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to invest $149 in you this year. I'm going to invest $149 in you, and you're going to have access to Rise and Grind University, where you can learn everything from all types of different experts all over the United States of America. So I want to just make it easy on you today and just tell you, go to GlennLundy.com and you can knock out all of your Christmas shopping. My wife will pack it all up. She'll have it all on your doorstep here in the next 2 or 3 days, and you can be in that camp. You could be in the camp that's completely done with their Christmas shopping at the end of this weekend. How would that feel? That would feel awesome, right? That's what I need you to do as a Gemini. Listen, I need you to do the right thing and hook your people up. Hook them up with some Rise and Grind gear. Hook them up with some Rise and Grind stuff. It'll actually make an impact in their life. They will thank you for it, I assure you. And speaking of doing the right thing, if you have the 2019 planner, I want you to take a look at it. Right there at the top, it's got a quote, and the quote says, "The time is always right to do the right thing." This is a quote by Martin Luther King. It's what it says here. That's actually not 100% accurate. The actual quote from Martin Luther King read a little bit different. The quote said, "The time is always right to do what is right." So my question to you is, what exactly did Martin Luther King mean by that? When he said the time is always right to do what is right, what did he mean by that? And what does that look like for you, right? Like, how can we apply that strong, powerful sentence into our lives today? So we're going to dive into that here today. But before we do, let's dance a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I need you to get that body moving a little bit. Let's get that body moving. Let's get that blood flowing. Let's get that heart pumping and pounding. Get the body, get the blood moving through our body. Get the muscles and the aches. Start to stretch those things out, right? It's first thing in the morning. We got to get moving. I don't care if you're overseas like Sarah Ball and you're walking through the mall, or I don't care if you're out there running like my friend Liza probably is this morning. I don't care if you're in the gym working out like Darian might be down there in South Carolina. Whatever you're doing, I just want you to get moving a little bit. Let that Tony with the keys move through you. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, let's go. Say good morning. I'll say good morning back. How you doing, Jeff Baker? What's up, Kara Jackson? How you doing, David Kuykendall? What's up, Eddie Gilbert? My man Don Sankey's up in here. There you go, Liza Myers-Borges. She's got her arms pumping. She's running. You know what, Liza? I need an extra mile out of you today. Whatever you was planning on doing, I need an extra mile. Scott Simons is out there. He's probably crossfitting, or he might be getting ready. Scott Simons has got a big day coming up next Tuesday. He might be getting ready for that. What's up, Tom Russell? How you doing, Janelle Griego? Whitney Wells is up in here. Look, I feel like I'm running with Liza now. What's up, Gail Beecraft? How you doing, JJ Bain? Mr. Lamont Carroll, the meme master. What's up, RGK? CCE Renews up in here this morning. Mr. Rick Berman, sir, great to see you. How you doing? Terry LaPierre. There you are. What's up, Whitney Wells? Whitney Wells, I have a package for you. I believe it's a hoodie. It's right here at my studio, ready for you. How you doing, Trendy Trenda? What's up, Brian Hess? Nathaniel Banks is up in here. Rick Tamburino, Dana Fishbein. I love that. I love that. Man, we're packed up in here for a Wednesday. That's what I'm talking about. Usually we get a little dip throughout the week. What's up, Travis Flaherty? How you doing, Laura Berman as well? Amy Bricker. Everybody's up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Y'all feeling that this morning? Sometimes I just gotta like soak it in. Isn't that amazing? We have an incredible song like that. Thank you, Tony, with the keys. How you doing, Rachel Deanne Murdoch and Denny Rust? Denny Rust says he's coming to Lexington. What's up, Dottie Dobbs Spears? Pam Biddle, I have a package for you here at the studio as well. Vicky Everett, great to see you, great to see you, great to see you. Okay, all right. All right, we gotta get for real now. We gotta get serious. I gotta make sure to add value into your life today, which I promise I will do. So what did it mean? And what does that look like when Martin Luther King said those powerful words? When he said, and I quote, "The time is always right to do what is right." Well, so you got to understand something. Martin Luther King was a minister back in the 50s and 60s. He was an activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the civil rights movement from 1955 ultimately until his assassination in 1968 at 39 years old. 39 years old. Now, he was born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. In his early childhood years, see, when Martin Luther King was a young man, he actually witnessed the rise of Nazism. So he witnessed the rise of Hitler and Nazism. He witnessed the Holocaust. He witnessed all of the things that came along with World War II. So that was the genre that he grew up in as a child. And as he got older, he became a student of Gandhi, and he became a student of Christianity. And ultimately, he was able to lead a nonviolent campaign that changed the world. Now, one of the crowning moments of achievement for Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. was he spurred or sparked this March on Washington. This March on Washington on August 28th, 1963, where 250,000 people, think about that, 250,000 people converged on Washington, D.C., all passionate, all on a mission, all led by this young man. He wasn't even 39 at that point. He was only 34 years old when he led all of these people in a nonviolent movement. You see, his philosophy of the time was always right. His philosophy of the time is always right. To do what is right implied to all of this, right? If it was the right thing, the time to do it was now. And so let me give you a picture of what that experience felt like. August 28th, 1963, 250,000 people.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Every time I watch that, it transports me back in time. It transports me back, and I just imagine being a young Martin Luther King. I imagine growing up and witnessing the horror of millions of people being killed in concentration camps, just the horror of it all. And so it takes me back, and when I see 250,000 people clapping and cheering and converging in a non-violent way, because I don't know about you, but I probably would have been really angry. It makes me angry now thinking about it. I probably would have wanted to fight. But instead, Martin Luther King stood up and he said, the time is always right to do what is right. And in doing so, he was able to inspire millions and ultimately change the world. You see, you may feel pressure in life right now. You might feel some stress from work or all of the things that you're trying to create. You may feel pressure from the season, right? Pressure from the season as far as the shopping and the gifts and the gatherings and the meals and the getting family together and the travel. Or maybe you feel some guilt or some regret in your life. Maybe there's some decisions that you've been making that you're not proud of. Maybe there's some decisions that you've made in the past that you wouldn't want anybody to maybe know about, or that you're still holding on to, that are still holding you down. And you see, I want to relieve that pain for you today. That's what I want to do. You see, I want to relieve that pain for you today, because what you did yesterday, I want to make this very, very clear. What you did yesterday matters zero today. Ultimately, you are a summation of all of the decisions that you've made in your life up until this point. Where you are today, all of the decisions that you've made have gotten you to where you are. However, what you did yesterday matters zero in the ability and the capability of what you have in your life, the possibilities and the potential for you today and going forward. You see, the time is always right to do what is right. And maybe, just maybe, you haven't been giving 110% at work. Maybe you haven't been pouring into your career the way that you should be. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you haven't been giving it the full effort that it deserves. Maybe you've been dragging in a little bit. Maybe you haven't been really attacking your morning routine. Maybe, just maybe you've let down your spouse in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you made a decision that hurt their feelings. Maybe you caused an action, or you took an action that ultimately does not fit in with your agreement, whether it be your marriage or your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Maybe you haven't been the best parent. Maybe you haven't been the best parent. You haven't been present with your children when you're at home, or you haven't made sure to make your kids a priority in your life or show them how loved they are. Maybe you've been so stressed out that you're just like, can you please just leave me alone? I got to take care of this. Maybe you owe somebody an apology. Maybe there's somebody that you burned, or somebody that you did wrong somewhere in your past, or even more recently. Maybe you were rude to someone, or you yelled at someone. You what's the word I'm looking for? Like you just, you reacted and you said some things that you didn't mean. Maybe you owe somebody an apology. Maybe you've let yourself down. Maybe that's it. Maybe you let yourself down. You haven't been exercising the way that you're supposed to be exercising, or you haven't been taking care of your body the way you need to take care of your body, or maybe you haven't been reading when you know you're supposed to be reading, or you haven't been studying when you know you're supposed to be studying. Maybe you've under-delivered on a promise to yourself or to others. I don't know exactly where you are in your life today. That part I don't know. But here's what I do know. There's no need for you to wait. There's no need for you to wait. I want you to take action. I want you to take action today. I want you to speak up and let your voice be heard. You see, I want you to be that guy, or I want you to be that girl, whether it be at work or at home with your friends. I want you to step up, step in, and step through whatever it is that you are going through. You see, the time is always right to do what is right. You know what it is. You know what you're supposed to be doing. We all do. That's like the worst part of human beings is we know exactly what we need to do. We just don't do it. We make excuses. We say, well, now's not the right time. I'll reach out to that person another time, or I can't necessarily pour more into my children right now because I've got this other thing going on. Maybe I'll do that next month, or I can't find the time to exercise. I don't really have the ability to take care of myself. I don't have time to read. I can't get up early. I'm tired. Now's not the time. And I'm here to tell you, no. The time is always right for you to do what is right for you and what is right for others. That time is today. You see, I imagine you stepping up. I imagine you stepping up like my man Martin did. See, Martin stepped up for what was right. Even though that meant he was going to get shackled, even though that meant he was going to be put in handcuffs, even though that meant that he was going to stand on a podium and ultimately be assassinated one day. My man Martin, he knew. And the decisions that Martin Luther King made 60 years ago are the decisions that have now got us where we are today. Where I'm sitting here with you, Scott Holbert, where I'm sitting here with you, Douglas Chichrin, and you and I are able to have a conversation. We're able to have an open conversation. We're able to speak freely. We're able to go to the same schools and drink out of the same water fountains. It was all because he did not let the time or the stress or the other things in his life keep him from doing the right thing. I want to challenge you today. I want to challenge you to keep that in your mind all day long, man. All day long, as you come across people, do the right thing. As you see opportunities for yourself, do what is right and do it now. Now is the time. You see, you are so much more powerful than you know. You are a child of God. Do you understand that? The God of the universe, the God that made everything, made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can be. When you become the best version of self, then you go out and make an impact on your friends, your family members, your coworkers. You've made an impact on me just by showing up this morning. All of your decisions make an impact. And who knows how many people's lives you are designed to impact? Who knows how your decisions, how many it can reach, like my man Martin. So listen, I love you, my friend. I want you to go out there and kill it today. Give it 110%, whatever it is you do. Go out there and make an impact in the world. We need you. I need you. Let's go.
Society has labeled Christians as weak because we believe in love and being kind. But don't mistake our kindness for weakness. The Christians I know pull victims out of caves in Thailand. They empower people from stages around the world.
Courage is what moves mountains in your life.
They break through mental and physical barriers to make an impact in this world.
I hope your day is 100% nothing but net.
The Christians I know fight injustice, sacrifice their money and their time. The Christians I know stand up and fight for the sake of men, women, and children all around the world. You see, it is not our belief in God that makes us weak. It is our belief in God that makes us strong.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind, grind, 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 grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind.
Don't stop, get it,
Hashtag rise and grind.
stop, get it,
Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind. Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind.
Good morning. On my feet before the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling